All right, I'm wrapping up the first day of a 2-night backpacking trip on the Rocky Flats Trail in Citico Creek Wilderness. I got a late start today at Warden Field, hiked in just a short distance and found a campsite along a small branch that I've stayed at before. Tomorrow I'm going to continue on the Rocky Flats Trail over to an old homestead that has an old chimney that's still standing, and then camp there, and then on Sunday I'll hike back out on the Rocky Flats Trail back to Warden Field. Day 2, and Rocky Flats Trail is following the branch I camped along last night, but in a little bit it will leave this drainage and climb up over several rib ridges. Last night about 9:30 a hound dog came into my camp, and then about I don't know, 10:15 3 young teenage boys who were out coon hunting came into my camp and picked up the dog. They said another dog was running around there somewhere, and they left, and then about 12 o'clock the second dog rolled through my camp, but I never did see him. I just heard him walk past my tarp. There's been a lot of trail maintenance on the Rocky Flats Trail since the last time I was here. I'm assuming it's Southern Appalachian Wilderness Stewards, also known as SAWS. It looks like instead of cleaning up that mess in front of me, they decided to relocate the trail and go around it. I tell you, I really appreciate the work they've done. They've got, I understand, 40 weeks worth of trail maintenance scheduled in Citico Creek and Joyce Kilmer Wildernesses in the next year. This is where the trail leaves the drainage and starts its climb up over the first rib ridge. All right, I made it over to the old homestead campsite. I've got my camp set up and I'm getting ready to build a fire and enjoy the evening. Before I do that, I want to talk a little bit about hunting dogs. These hunters last night were telling me that hikers who think that it's cruel to use dogs to hunt with are removing the collars. I'm not going to talk about whether it is or is not cruel to use hunting dogs, but people have been using dogs to hunt with for thousands of years, and I will assure you that a lot fewer dogs are lost since the invention of these radio collar tracking devices than before. What I do really want to talk about is removing the collars. First of all, it's a $1,000 fine if you're caught removing the collar from the dog. Second, These dogs cost $3,000 to $4,000 a piece. I've even heard of some of them selling for as high as $10,000. So the hunters are making every effort they can to locate the dogs when they're lost. So removing the collar makes it more difficult for the hunters to find their dogs and increases the probability of the dog getting lost and even dying in the mountains. So my argument is removing the collars is clearly cruelty to the animal. So before you do that, I would think about it. Maybe get the owner's phone number off the collar, and when you get back to the trailhead or phone service, call the owner and tell the owner where you saw his dog. Welcome to day 3 on the Rocky Flats Trail. The first 3 weeks of January have been bitter cold, but today it's about 60 degrees and the yellow jackets are flying around me. A little more about these hunting dogs. The first night, these hunters mentioned that they found the radio collar removed from a dog at Beach Gap Trailhead on Cherokee Skyway. Then later, in another conversation, they mentioned that a hiker got back to his car at Beach Gap Trailhead and found all 4 tires of his car slashed. My question is it possible that a pissed off hunter went up there and slashed the tires of the car? Anyway, so again, please don't remove the collars from these dogs. You're not doing the dogs any favor, and an unintended consequence may be that hikers' cars are trashed at the trailhead. I'm almost back to the trailhead, and again I'd like to thank Southern Appalachian Wilderness Stewards, aka SAWS, for the fantastic maintenance they did on this trail. They cleared up lots of blowdowns. In lots of places they dug out the trail bed. Just did a really great job. SAWS maintains all the trails in the designated wilderness areas in the Southern Appalachians, and they have got their hands full with thousands and thousands of dead hemlock trees falling across the trails. This has been a fun little trip. Rocky Flats is a pretty little trail. It's a great low elevation trail for winter backpacking when you want to avoid the colder temperatures and the higher elevations. I hope you enjoyed this video, and thanks for watching.